The launch object nodons in Game Builder Garage can be very convenient and useful. They can also be frustratingly limited for even simple applications. Sometimes you want to launch a rocket and it actually be a rocket and not a cylinder. So we're going to try and solve that problem today by going over one method of treating fancy objects or complex objects as projectiles. We're going to start by getting rid of this launch object setup and bringing in our rocket. We'll set the material to 0 gravity. The method is going to involve teleports, so we're going to need a teleport entrance and a teleport exit. We're going to use this entrance teleport nodon to set up a sort of phantom zone here to the left where the rocket will float freely in between being fired. We'll set the teleport so that it accepts the rocket object. Teleport exits can be finicky in terms of launch direction, so we're going to be using an intermediary box that we rotate so that we can launch things in the right orientation. We'll connect the box to the person and to the teleporter. The size we'll use is 0.10, 0.2, 0.10, and we'll leave it as movable with the connections of Y negative and Z negative. Y positive is facing away from the player. Then on the teleport object exit, we'll reset the physics with a launch speed of 15 in the direction Y positive. If we go ahead and test that, we can see we have a functioning rocket launch. Now the problem is that, unlike the launch nodon, this isn't a scrap object that just gets deleted or destroyed or held in memory. We need to treat this object differently and reuse it. We'll set up a second pair of teleporters on channel B. They will teleport rockets. The entrance will be attached to the rocket. To set the teleport off, I'll be using a touch sensor, but you can use different logic here. We'll connect the touch sensor to the rocket and have it detect things that we want to cause the rocket to explode and return to the phantom zone. When we make contact with an object like that, we want to open the teleport and send us back here. We'll also add a localized explosion effect set to a world. In this example, I want to use ZL to manually detonate the rocket, so that if we miss our target, we can still send it back to the phantom zone. An alternative here would be to use a timer, but you want to handle misfires or errors. The teleport physics have to be set to reset with a speed of 0, and we don't want the rocket touch sensor to interfere with our rotation object, so we're changing that to a sphere. Now when we fire it up, we can launch the rocket and it explodes when it reaches a contact and gets sent back to the phantom zone to be launched again later. That's the basic setup, but I wanted a reason to talk about one of the other benefits of using fancy or complex objects as projectiles. In these alien objects, we can set the destructible and destructive properties to specific fancy objects. So in this case, we can make them destructible only by rockets. That's something that you can't really do with the simple shapes of the launch object nodons. Now that that's all set up, we can launch our rockets, destroy the aliens, and detonate them manually. And we're done. As our bonus objective or extra credit today, I have this small scene set up with a rocket ship. All I did was copy what we just did, but apply it to 2 different teleport exits with 2 different fancy objects and phantom zones. It's honestly as easy as copy and pasting the nodons and making sure that all of the teleports are on the right channels. I would be remiss not to mention that the channel just got 1,000 subscribers, and I want to say a big thank you to everyone who watches, likes, comments on the videos, and supports the channel. It's been really awesome to be a part of this community and create content for you all.